This story begins in the middle of the sea with a sunken ship and a little boy floating adrift. Now we see that the responsible for the sinking is a huge sea monster. How terrifying. For years these monsters have terrorized humanity, but finally, the sailors fought back and created their squads of hunters. These brave warriors would protect the ships from any monstrous threat. Now we meet Macy, a young orphan whose dream is to become one of these hunters. What a profession! This orphanage is special because it houses all the children of hunters who died protecting the seas. The most famous monster hunter ship is called the Inevitable, and equally legendary is its leader, Captain Crow. Remember the shipwrecked boy from years ago? Well, Captain Crow found him and raised him as his own son. His name is Jacob, and he is an excellent hunter and a great person. One day, the Inevitable was after a red-colored monster, the most feared of them all. This is the Red Sail. It turns out that this monster took Captain Crow's eye years ago, so there is a bit of resentment there. But before they can begin the chase, they notice another hunter's ship in trouble. Captain Crow wanted to continue pursuing the Red Sail, but Jacob reminds him that they must honor the hunter's code and help their colleagues in danger. There is a massive dragon-like creature attacking them, and it seems like they are lost. But don't worry, the Inevitable and its brave crew arrive to assist, and a fierce battle ensues. Jacob proves his skills and saves many of his comrades. He even manages to injure the beast, but eventually it strikes him hard, sending him flying into the water. Captain Crow, seeing Jacob in danger, exclaims, "Not my adopted baby!" He takes a harpoon and thrusts it into the dragon-like creature, killing it. As the beast sinks, Captain Crow takes its horn to collect his reward from the king for this feat. However, it turns out that the creature was still alive and with its last breath, grabs Captain Crow, and they both sink. But don't worry, they manage to pull him out of the water, and the captain is fine. Later, Captain Crow tells Jacob that after killing the Red Sail, he will retire and appoint Jacob as the new captain. He recognizes Jacob as an incredible sailor, a great hunter, and someone who truly inspires people. Jacob expresses his honor, and they share a tender and adoptive embrace. The hunters return to their village to celebrate, with joy and drinks for everyone. Let the party begin. Before Jacob can enjoy a cold one, little Macy arrives and tells him that she knows him, admires him, and wants to be like him someday. She escaped from her orphanage to become a hunter just like her parents once were. But Jacob tells her that there is no way because a monster ship is not a place for a girl. They put her in a taxi and send her back to the orphanage. The next day, Crow and his crew visit the royal palace to collect their reward for killing the dragon-like creature. To their surprise, the king already knows that they had the Red Sail in their hands, but let it go to help other hunters. The one who informed the king was this arrogant admiral. The king says that the crown cannot continue supporting the hunters because they are paid to keep the seas safe, not to honor moral codes. That's why the kingdom has developed its own fleet of royal hunters, which will travel on this enormous ship and be led by the snitch admiral. Captain Crow explains to the admiral that his ship is too big and slow and ill-equipped for monster hunting. Using it would condemn his entire crew. But the admiral doesn't listen. The king thanks Crow for everything and sends him away. The captain gets very angry because he and his people have dedicated their lives to protecting the kingdom, and they are replaced so easily. Tension rises, but Jacob, happily, is more level-headed. He proposes a competition to the king to see who is truly capable of defeating the monsters, them or the snitch admiral and his expensive ship. The one who eliminates the Red Sail first will obtain glory, money, and, of course, the right to protect the kingdom. The admiral feels overconfident, and everyone agrees and accepts the challenge. Later, the captain announces that after this mission, Jacob will be the new captain. Joy and drinks for everyone. Let the party begin. However, in one of these barrels, someone seems to be hiding. Guess who? It's little Macy. Since Jacob didn't accept her request to join them, the girl stowed away. Now they don't know where to put her. The girl is also a fan of Captain Crow and praises him for a while. As the captain likes her, he allows her to stay. Macy is super excited and already wants to become a hunter, claim her fame and glory. The captain tells her to calm down and go to sleep. The old captain explains that he let her stay because she has a fire in her eyes. The same fire he saw in Jacob when he rescued him as a child. But there's no time for reflections because they have arrived at the Red Sail, and it's time to prepare their weapons. The monster moves quickly, but the crew manages to harpoon it and tie it with ropes. The problem is that the creature is very strong and starts swimming in a spiral, causing the ship to be destroyed soon. They must cut the ropes or they will sink. But Macy is brave and decides to take the initiative. She starts cutting all the ropes on her own. When the captain sees her, he demands that she stops or he will treat her as a traitor. But the girl keeps cutting, liberating the ship and the monster, and saving everyone's lives, including Jacob's. However, both she and Jacob fall overboard into the water. We have this shot that will surely give thalassophobia sufferers diarrhea. Don't worry, the Red Sail just looks at them and swims away. Jacob and Macy get on a lifeboat, and the captain is furious, demanding that Jacob hand over the girl. But Jacob asks what he will do to her, and the captain shouts, "Give her to me, damn it!" But before the old man does something stupid, the red sail returns and swallows them. Don't worry, it seems like it did it to save them. The monster takes them swimming to a secluded beach and releases them, calmly continuing with its day. In the evening, Jacob and Macy take refuge inside a huge shell. Inside, the girl theorizes that maybe the monsters are not as bad as the stories have portrayed them, and perhaps these creatures were just protecting their ecosystem from strange beings, meaning us humans. She also thinks that the red sail is female, and names her Red. Jacob disagrees with everything his young companion says, and remains determined to kill the beast no matter what. The next day, Macy comes across a strange blue creature, a very adorable and soft buddy. She names him Plug and loves him a lot. As they continue, they are attacked by a giant crab, but Red comes to their rescue, and a great battle ensues. The brave girl distracts the crab, and Jacob delivers a double harpoon blow, and then Red finishes it off, sending it flying. The girl asks her new friend if she could take them to an island near home, and Red indicates that the creature doesn't understand, and not to waste her time. But it seems that Red knows what she wants and offers to carry them on her back, and they have a great time on this incredible panoramic journey. Along the way, they come across the spears of the crew embedded in Red's body. Macy removes them one by one to make her new friend feel better, and Blue just stays there being adorable. Meanwhile, Captain Crow has been consumed by the pain of loss. He believes that Red killed his beloved adopted son and is determined to kill her by any means necessary. He tells his crew that they will seek the help of a famous witch, and his crew tells him not to, that she is evil. But the captain doesn't listen and insists on going to the witch. He visits the woman, who has an evil appearance, and she tells him that she will give him a powerful poison to kill the monster, and a special weapon too. In return, she says that she will take everything, referring to everything he sought. What she meant by this, they have no idea. As time passes, he starts getting along better with Red, because he sees that she helps them catch fish for food. So, help her. They continue removing spears, and Blue remains adorable. Later, Jacob examines the books about hunters that Macy was reading. He says that many of those anecdotes are inconsistent, and some of them are completely made up. They always believed that the monsters attacked villages and killed innocents. But perhaps this wasn't what happened. Maybe the story got twisted, and it was humans who started attacking these creatures. A storm is approaching, so the team must take shelter, and they do so in Red's nostril cavities, which seem to have a transparent membrane that allows them to see the depths from a front row seat like a window. They see beautiful ecosystems, and then they come across many skeletons of Red's family and hunter ships. It's sad. In the morning, Red arrives at their destination, and they disembark. Macy thanks her for everything and promises that she won't hunt sea monsters anymore. Jacob tries to break his spear as a symbolic gesture, but he can't. They also say goodbye to Blue, who is really cute, and Macy hugs her dear friend. They are about to leave peacefully when it seems like Red smells something bad. It turns out that the modern and expensive ship of the Snitch Admiral is loading provisions there, and as soon as they spot Red, they start shooting cannons and everything they have at her. Red says, "Ha ha, they're screwed," and charges towards them. Macy tries to stop her but ends up being injured by one of the explosions and falls to the ground. Keiko rushes to help her, and it seems that the girl will be fine. Nothing serious. What's not fine is the modern and expensive ship. Red strikes it and splits it in half with a single blow, ending the party for the Admiral. Red sees that her dear friend is injured, but doesn't let Keiko get close because she fears she will hurt her more. They both look at each other defiantly when a flare appears in the sky. The Inevitable and its captain are here, following Crow's orders. The crew prepares the secret poison projectile. Red attacks her enemies, but before she can strike them, the poison projectile hits her. Finally, Crow gets what he wanted, and the beast he hated so much has fallen. He orders his crew to quickly remove the harpoons so that Red doesn't absorb all the poison and doesn't die yet, because he wants the king and queen to see her. The crew secures the beast with many ropes and tows her across the sea. They reach the infirmary of the ship, and Keiko hears Jacob talking to the captain, even though his adopted son told him that Red saved him and behaved well. The old man says that she still took an eye from him, and that he knows what he is, the son of a ship captain, and his destiny is to kill monsters and achieve glory. And Keiko knows that this is not right, but she doesn't want to contradict her beloved father. Captain Weiss moves quickly and tries to kill Crow, but Keiko stops her, and the old man just laughs with her close to the royal palace. Crow tells Keiko that he will soon be the captain, and then he tells her that their exploits will live forever in history, and that nobody can stop them. However, what they didn't expect is that Blue followed them all the way, and is still very adorable. The group climbs up to May's room and opens a window, and when the distinguished royal girl is there, she has a disturbing revelation. All the books she has read about monsters have the same emblem, meaning the past kings were the ones who invented all those rumors about evil monsters destroying villages and killing innocents. She sneaks over to where Red is and starts cutting her ropes little by little. Finally, Captain Crow is standing in front of the kings and reminds them that they told him the era of the hunters was over. It's an inspiring speech, and now he is about to take the life of the Red Sail in front of the entire kingdom. But Red speaks up and tells him that this is not the way, and they should stop. The old man is very upset and says that he doesn't recognize her anymore. They engage in a fierce duel with swords, and probably with a little kick, the old man throws his adopted son into the water. But don't worry, he's fine. Meanwhile, the first officer of the ship cuts the rope in time, and Red is released and rises majestically, destroying everything in her path. Crow still tries to kill Red, and takes a spear from a statue and points it at her, ready to be eaten. But Macy stands in the way and tells them that if they continue like this, the cycle of killing will never end, and asks them to please try to live peacefully, supporting the arrival of Jay, meaning no more monster hunting. And now she manages to make her symbolic gesture with the spear, but the king and queen demand that their soldiers kill the monster. Macy climbs onto Red's back and explains to the entire kingdom that their monarchs are liars and selfish. They have invented all the bad things about creatures like Red, and for centuries they have been killing her kind. These creatures simply started to hate humans and defend themselves. The king tells her that she has no right to voice her opinion on this matter, but Macy tells him that she has every right because one of the many hunters they sent to die was her parents. These kings only wanted money and glory and sacrificed their own people as if it meant nothing. After hearing her, everyone agrees to let the beast go and live in peace. But the kings still demand that their men shoot Red, although they don't do it because they accept that they don't know how this war with the monsters began, so it's better to give her the benefit of the doubt. Red signals and leaves with Jacob and Macy on her back. That day, Captain Crow decides to let go of his hatred for these creatures, and retires or something, I don't know. Now Macy tells us that the sailors decided to stay out of the waters where the monsters live, and just like that, the attacks stopped. She went to live with her new adoptive father, her adorable pet. And I suppose the price she had to pay for working with the witch was losing her son and her crew. It was all very metaphorical, and I didn't quite understand it. Anyway, well, friends, if you want me to summarize another movie, series, or saga in a future video, let me know in the comments box. As always, I want to thank the members of the channel, my subscribers. See you soon. Wait, don't leave yet. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon.